everybody. It's me, Lakeah Shannelle. I'm coming to you today just to answer a few questions. Um, Question number one. I saw yesterday someone asked me to tell a little bit more about me. Well, I am a 42-year-old mom. I have 3 daughters, 1 son. My oldest is 22. I have one 19. I have a daughter that's 17. Then my baby, my son, he is 13 years old. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I still reside there. We all still reside here. Let's see. My love of books and poetry kind of began early. I can remember being probably 4, 5, laying in my bed, reading books, trying to teach myself letters and just, trying to figure out what the words said on the page. That was like the best for me, just to lay there, and I would sit there for hours and just sound out words and try to figure out stories. My brother Brian, he would come in the room with me, and we would sit and make up stories together. Like, he would start a story, then Sissy take it, and I would finish the stories, and we would just entertain ourselves like that for hours. As I grew older, I began to read more and more and learning more and more. The more words I learned, the more excited I became. So by the time I was like, elementary, early middle school, I was always somewhere with a book in my hand. Walking the halls of school, book in hand. Classroom, supposed to be paying attention, book in hand. I always read, always had a book in my hand. I would be on the phone for hours with some of my friends, weaving tales, making up stories about, especially things like, when we got older, what are we going to do? And what guy would we want? Or just, your silly teenage stuff. But I always had so much fun doing that. So as I got older, I just continued to read and continued to collect more and more information about different types of books and just different things I loved. Romance was always my main flavor. But as I entered into adulthood, I discovered fantasy. Karen Marie Moning is one of my absolute favorite authors because of she started off romance, then she eventually escalated into more fantasy, young adult, dealing with fae and different folklores from Ireland, and I just absolutely loved it. Anybody that I could talk to about it, I talked to about it. Anybody that I can get hooked onto my books, I got hooked. So it became a love of mine until I realized, hey, why not try it? So I began to write my feelings first. That's where it started. Then I noticed that I could work through a problem by writing poetry. So I began writing poetry. Then, hey, if I can do that, let's try a short story. Hey, I could do that. And then I just, built, and then I would study, and I actually would check out multiple books from the library on poetry and short stories and how to properly write a book or how to properly edit. Like, I did this for years and years and years. I often lost my nerve and, I'm going to do this. Then I decided not to, or I got too scared to try. I had made up stories, and unfortunately things happen, and I just never got to finish them. Over the years, I think experience and knowledge has built me to where I am now, finally at 42, to be confident enough to contact a publisher and get my books published. How do I feel about my first book coming out? I'm ecstatic, nervous, but ecstatic. I'm so happy and proud of my own self that I finally finished, completed, turned it in, got it edited, turned it back in, and now it's released. I absolutely am at peace with what was put out. Lady's story is me. It's my story. It's my feelings for close to 20 years. From me being a early mom, got married at 18, had my first baby at 20. It's my emotions, it's my feelings, it's my secret desires, a lot of things that I couldn't verbally say, I wrote them down. And I just collected and collected until finally I had so many feelings and emotions written down. I would come back and visit them and say, hey, look how far you've come. This is where you were. This is how you are now. This is where you're feeling now, as opposed to what you felt back then. So to see it in a collection, in a book, and let's be honest, I was a little nervous with sharing my personal feelings, but I did it. And to me, that has, as of yet, been one of my biggest accomplishments. My babies are my first. They'll always be my first accomplishment. But my book, it's my baby. It's my passion. It's been my love. It's been all of my desires for close to 20 years. Hydra Productions. I got signed to them late July, early August, and it has been a complete joy. I have connected with so many fellow authors who have taught me so much. The questions, I can ask a million. I can ask a lot of questions, and everyone has been so patient with me. They've talked, been open, shared their experiences, taught me a lot. And for that, I've been so grateful. So grateful. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Hydra Group. Hail Hydra. Next question. Where am I going from here? Well, I have gone anthology crazy. Thank you, Chandra. I have begun signing up for anthologies. Whenever I talk to people about anthologies, they go, what's that? Just like I said, what's that? So I'm going to explain to you what an anthology is. An anthology is a collection of stories put together by either one author or many. They have become fun for me. For Halloween, I have actually 2 stories coming out, and I will be posting more and more teasers on that as we go along, which will be pretty quick. We're moving into October, yay. They are going to be based off 2 sisters, and their names are Wright. Last name is Wright. So the series is going to be the Wright sisters. In the Halloween anthology, it's going to be sort of like their beginning, their prologue. It's going to explain the basis of the story, who they are. The whole story basis is off of secrets. Each woman in the series has some kind of secret, whether it's the mom or the sisters. I am planning on releasing in spring and summer of next year their full stories. So keep a watch out for those. My big project, my heart, is Revenant. I have been writing Revenant since my oldest daughter was born. She is now 22 years old. Through many sad, hurtful incidences, either it has been taken from me or stolen, in a sense. So I decided I am going to do this. I'm going to get my book. It is in my heart. It is in my mind. It will not go away. It actually started as a dream. For many of my friends who know me, I am a dreamer. I dream like movies. I like whole scenes, fighting scenes, and I share my dreams often. I actually began writing them down at one point from the advice of an older lady. She's like, write them down. You're going to need them later on in life. And she was right, because a lot of my dreams are going to end up becoming some of the books that I write. Revenant is about a girl. Her name is Tony. How, unfortunately, a regular walk to her car became one of the biggest travesties in her life. She walks in on an assassination of a local, let's see how I can explain that, politician. Let's just call him a politician. And she encounters an assassin who has not been seen in 30 to 40 years. Anyone who knows who he is, has seen his face, is now dead. She is the only living person that knows what this gentleman looks like. It will go on a wild ride from the assassination to the group of gentlemen that come to protect her and her friends, through many secrets and scandals that will slowly become unraveled to reveal the big picture in the end. I am so excited about Revenant. Revenant is due out at the end of November. I am planning a big to do for Revenant, just because it has been so long. And planning and writing and rewriting again. Now I'm in the editing phase and I am super excited, guys. I cannot wait to be done so that I can start on book 2, which is Quest. Quest is going to take off right where Revenant left off. No breaks, right to it. I am planning to be in another anthology for Christmas, one for Thanksgiving, just, some cute things that I want to do. I am so excited and so overjoyed right now with the progress of everything that I'm coming out with. I always bounce my ideas off of people that I care about. Just ask them, because I'm probably driving them nuts. My children, I ask them 5,000 questions. Hey, what if this happens? Or what about this? I actually have my 17-year-old a lot. She reads and edits. Hey, Mom, add this. What about this? Take that away. I don't like that. So my family has become my sounding board. I would love to have people that I can talk to outside of them to actually sound in. Hey, why don't you write this? Or, hey, what about that? So you guys, I so appreciate you coming on this ride with me. It is going to be a wild, wild ride. Thank you guys for your love and your support. Come join me. Thank you.